Welcome to the Armchair Dudes. I'm your host Nathan Castro and my co-host Jason Pfeiffer. Jason, how you
Hello.
doing this Sunday?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Good, man. Good. Watching some football, watching some baseball, just
Yep.
going back and forth, enjoying life. Did you have a good weekend?
I had a really good weekend. I did a lot of things, did some honeydew stuff, so had a good
Yeah,
weekend. Relaxed a little bit after work, you know. So
we
it
got some
was
good
really good.
rain too.
We
Got
did
some good
get some good
rain.
rain. Went out Saturday
Needed.
night, so that was good.
There you go. Same here.
Yeah, yeah. Went out to
Good.
the truck
Uh,
yard. It's a really nice little place up here in Plano that is
oh
real
yeah,
nice.
I've been there before. Yeah, that is a really nice place.
Yeah, it's real cool. So
Yeah, yeah. A lot of
r-
people. A lot of people.
a lot of people watching. It's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Fun times.
Awesome. Good deal, man. All right. Well, before we get started, we just want to make sure that people like and subscribe our show on YouTube, The Armchair Dudes. Y'all, we wanna make it big. So please like and subscribe. Tell your people about our show. If you enjoy our content, like and subscribe. If you want to throw some content in there, or if you even maybe want to get on the show, message us in the YouTube chat, and we'll be happy to get you on. We all we ask is clean in nature, no derogatory or any kind of bad remarks. Keep it professional. But yeah, we'd love to chop it up with you on the show. So yeah, me and Jason are talkers, so we definitely would like somebody else to talk instead of us.
And just to throw this in there, I will take the bad comments. Just keep it clean, because good comments
Yeah,
are just as good as bad comments.
yeah.
Everybody,
Bad is
we
not
always want
controversial. Yeah,
right.
bad is bad. Controversial is what we want, but you gotta walk a fine line. Like,
Yeah,
and if you don't know what that fine line is, then you probably shouldn't be on our show.
exactly.
All right, bud. Let's go ahead and get started. The first topic today. So you know me, I'm a sports person. Love the
For
sports.
sure.
Um, let's talk about equal pay in sports because there's a couple of
Uh,
instances that came up for women. One of them was there was an article that actually came out that LeBron James' annual salary matched what the WNBA is making in a year for all their players. I
yeah,
thought that was really interesting. Very, very interesting.
right.
And then there was another instance a while, maybe a couple of months back or something like that, that the women's soccer team went to court about equal pay for themselves because they felt the men were making a lot more than the women were. And that one I kind of agree more on the women's side because the women's soccer team has been really, really good lately. And I'm all about who wins. Just because you're a man, just because you think you run the stuff, if you're not winning, don't come to me at that. You know what I'm saying? Like the women's soccer
Yeah,
team's been winning, and so, but yet they are very underpaid compared to the men's soccer team, who has really been an embarrassment for many, many years. I mean, hopefully this year it's a turnaround, but we'll see what happens. But let's kind of dive into this a little bit more because I think this also reaches a whole variety of ranges. I just kind of use it in sports because there's that argument: can the woman athlete do what the man athlete can do? And if they
right,
can, why are they getting paid less? So let's dive into that. Let's talk about that.
right. So I am gonna agree with you, and I'm gonna disagree with you. There's
Surprise,
several
surprise.
things. Yeah, there's several things here that I do agree with you about. I do think that if a woman is promoting the team and making the plays and winning the games and winning the championship, yes, they should get paid. Um, they should get paid equally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. However, the soccer team, they did a study, and the study said that because as of the games that they win,
Mm-hmm.
because of how many games they play, sorry, and because of how much money the revenue they make, they
Mm-hmm.
actually found out that the women were making more money than the men in soccer.
Okay.
That came out in a study, and I'd have to look that up. but they did find out that the women per capita were really making more money than the men were.
And I
Uh,
think real quick, I think the
sure,
argument is more so because of the endorsements. That obviously the male
right,
athlete can make a lot more in endorsements on top of whatever they
right,
make for playing the sport.
right, and that's where I'm going to agree with you on. If they can make, I mean, I say agree with you on this, but I don't know where you fall on this, but where I fall on it is that if the man is, whether or not a woman can do just as much as a man can, I don't think that's the point here. The point
Mm-hmm.
is how much money they're bringing to the business, how much they can dole out, because it's by a percentage, and I'm sure it's by what the contract says, it's what the
Mm-hmm.
value of the player is. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think that there's as much fan base to WNBA or women's soccer than there is for the men,
Right. Right.
because naturally when men don't watch those kinds of games. They watch the fellas play, and
unless
there's
they're
not too
unless they're
many.
dragged to the game by the wife.
Right, and then there's not too many women out there that watch sports. So, I mean, there
Mm-hmm.
are, but they're not as much as men. But
Right.
so it kind of goes with that. I mean, if you want to make more money, bring more people to the game, bring more people to the genre. It
Mm-hmm.
it's like does a woman rock star make as much money as a man rock star? In a lot of cases, yeah. I mean, it depends on who you are, right? But
Yeah, I sent you.
that's the whole thing.
Yeah, I sent you that article about I think it was Dallas Howard because when they made Jurassic Park,
Hmm.
the last Jurassic Park, that Dallas Howard got vastly underpaid for her role, and Chris Pratt, who was the one of the main dudes in the movie, he argued for her to get paid more.
Uh-huh.
You know, and for me, here's the thing, and
Well,
we're not
now,
women's.
okay, now
Go
did
ahead.
she sign a contract? I mean, did they present her with the money and say, we'll you know we'll film you, if you sign the contract, and she signed it and found out later
Yeah.
on it wasn't as much as he
Well, I
gets?
think I
Well, I
think I
mean, come
think
on.
yeah, and you know how this is. Nobody really knows how much people make,
Right.
unless somebody divulges it. And usually when somebody divulges it, somebody's going to be pissed
Somebody will
because
be.
the fact that, yeah, because it's like if you told me how much you make and I told you how much I make, like, what the hell, Jason? Why are you making more than I am? We do the same thing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Of
And
course.
that's kind of argument I think women have is that we do the same types of roles, we do the same thing, but because I'm a female and you're a male, you're going to make more money than I do. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
And
I'll
so,
tell you what, if Chris Pratt was,
mhm,
since he's the star of the movie, everybody knows. First of all, I
mhm,
don't even know who
mhm.
Dallas is. I don't know who that is.
She
Okay.
was the one. She was the one that was like his squeeze in the movie.
Yeah, I've never
Oh,
heard
you
of
never
her
watched it? Oh.
before. Never even heard of her before.
She's
Okay.
Ron Howard's daughter. You know who
Who
Ron
gives a
Howard
fuck?
was?
Yeah, of course I know who Ron Howard was, but I don't
Happy
know
days,
who.
bro.
Yeah, I know who Ron Howard is, but I don't know who his daughter is. Fuck her. I don't know who she is, and I've never heard of her in my entire life. Uh,
Google, man.
but I guarantee you, if it was Pamela Anderson
Then you
or
would know who that was.
or somebody that was more famous than Dallas, I guarantee you that person, if she's getting killed in the movie or some dramatic way, or is a co-star,
Right.
as far as name recognition goes, she could probably be making more than Chris. You never
Yeah.
know. So it
Yeah.
just depends on what
That's a
the
good point.
contract was. Yeah. So I think it has to go with what you can bring to the table, and I think that's really the key conversation.
So let me ask you this question: do you think women should make as much as a man does?
Well, they also did another study. The other study was,
Hmm.
do women make as much money as the men do in the workplace? And they found out that yes, they do. Generally. Okay, we're
Mhm.
talking generally here. We're not talking specifics.
But if you look at the
Because,
top 10% of people, they're mostly men.
well, yeah, but because the reason why is because they take more maternity leave. They're sick more. We all know they get more migraines. More they get they get migraines more. Those kinds of things. They take a lot more time. They have more family issues than men do. Okay.
I'm gonna plead the fifth
Uh,
on that one.
is it? I mean, am I wrong? I mean, I don't know. Tell me, am I
I mean,
wrong?
I agree. I agree with the maternity issues. I mean,
Men
when they
don't
have
take
kids, yeah,
men
they have
don't
to.
you know men don't take time off or because their butt hurts. They don't. They suck it up and they go to work.
So where your wife is just like ready to pound you in the head or something.
She's not even here. She went out with the girls tonight.
She's probably eager to talk mess about her. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. They're more emotional creatures.
Yeah,
They definitely. I will say this: they definitely think more critically than we do.
yeah.
We're probably more reactionary people. Um, but let's just take it from like this standpoint. Why do you think? Okay, so let's look at it this way. You talked about endorsements, okay?
Right.
Like let's take it from that standpoint. Do you feel that women are marketable
Yes.
in sports?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course.
So if they're marketable in sports, why is it that the man still seems to make more in advertisements and revenue than the women does?
Do
Is
you
it
think
because of
what
the reach?
I think, like I said, I think it has to do with who you are and
Mm-hmm.
who you can bring to what you can bring value to the company. Like the Williams twins. I mean, they get endorsements left and right
Sure.
because of who they are.
But they're also in a
Um,
sport that predominantly doesn't have a lot of female dominance.
yeah.
And the
Well,
fact that they're both African American too, I think, is even bigger than that because usually tennis is a white person sport. Let's
right,
just call it what it is.
right,
But
right,
these two women have dominated
right,
for years on.
right.
Let me ask you this question because I want to kind of make this comparison in a sense. Like, okay, like let's say the Williams sisters, let's say they get an advertisement for Nike, right? And let's say, they do pretty good, they Nike pays them a good amount of money. Let's say they do a swimsuit edition for SI, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all know this, all the
Yeah,
men, the bikinis, the
yeah,
sports, the swimsuit section, right?
right.
What do you think is going to make more revenue?
Versus what?
Let's just say like if they
Nike,
do advertisements,
Nike.
yeah, Nike versus or doing the SI swimsuit edition.
Oh, I don't know. I don't
I
know.
could tell you it's probably gonna be a swimsuit edition because
Uh,
men are gonna
maybe.
buy those magazines. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of dudes that will buy those magazines.
Yeah,
So the point I'm bringing around is that right?
right.
Because you see what I'm saying? Like the only time they really get put on a pedestal for their achievements and their success is usually in kind of a
Sex,
sexist
sex,
kind of manner,
sex
you know?
sells. That's the
Right,
whole thing.
exactly,
Sex
exactly.
sells.
And that's the argument that I'm trying to bring to you when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to females in sports
Mm-hmm.
is that from a male perspective, the male could care less about the credentials, right?
Mm-hmm.
All they care about is they look good, right?
Right.
And so let me ask you this one. How do you think you change that narrative? Or can you change that narrative?
I don't think you can. I don't think you
Yeah.
can. Sex is always
It's
going to sell.
right.
Drama is always going to sell.
Right.
Championships are always going to sell. And if you aren't doing that, then chances are you're not going to make very much money.
Let me ask you this question. I want your thoughts on this because I've always kind of thought this about this whole topic, especially in sports.
Mm-hmm.
What if they integrated men and women together in professional? Like, what if
Nah,
they just tried it out?
they're trying to.
Well, not like that.
That's
You know
what
what
they're trying to do.
I'm saying actually like taking some of your best female players and playing them with males, your
Uh-huh.
professional male athletes.
Hmm.
How do you think that would look? How do you think that people would perceive that?
Well, there's this old adage of the man being the gentleman
Mm-hmm.
and letting the woman win.
That
It's
these are very
doesn't it
high
it
ego
does it
athletes.
doesn't look good
Okay.
when you beat a woman, and it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
look good if your woman beats
Mm-hmm.
you. Either way, you're jacked, and
But if
so
their but if their
men
adage
won't do
is
it.
right, no, I agree. But if their
Yeah,
adage is we can do exactly what you can do,
sure, sure.
I'd like to see that competition because women are very driven. They're
Yeah,
very focused, and yeah, they're emotional people, but they're very critical thinkers.
yeah. How effective do you think that football team's going to be if there's a woman on that team besides the kicker?
I don't know. I'm intrigued to see that, man. That would be something interesting because I mean, I've seen some of these women play tackle football,
Yeah,
and I tell you what, man, they can tackle better than some of these males can.
yeah.
You know,
I have a feeling you're going to have a lot of women hurt. You're going to have a lot more
right?
injuries, more serious injuries. Now it does work
Mm-hmm.
on the elementary school and middle school, and in some cases high school
Mm-hmm.
cases. It does work.
Right.
I've been to a couple of high school games where there's
Let
been
me.
some girls on the
Mm-hmm.
team
Mm-hmm.
and which have done really well. So, I don't that have
Yeah.
actually impressed me on the field.
Right.
So I don't have a problem. Like I said, I don't have a problem with a woman playing the game. I have a
Okay.
problem with them getting hurt in the game, and I don't want
Yeah,
that to
and that's
happen.
and that's and that's fair. That is a
Yeah.
fair
I
assessment.
mean, you have 300-pound linemen, 400-pound
Yeah.
linemen that are going to be putting the squeeze
For
on these
sure,
girls.
and again, I'm not advocating to put a girl against a 300-pound lineman. I'm just
Hmm.
saying certain positions I'd like to see a kind of integration type. I think
Yeah.
that would be really interesting to watch. Let me ask you this question: how do you feel? Okay, so we talked about players. So how do you feel if a woman there was a woman professional coach coaching males? How
Oh,
do you think that would go?
we've seen that with the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah,
We've
but I'm
seen
talking I'm
that.
talking a head coach, not talking assistant. You can hide an assistant. I'm talking about an actual professional head coach.
There hasn't been a
There
woman
has
head
not
coach
been,
yet.
but what? No, there
Hmm.
has not been. But let me just ask you, what do you think?
I don't have a
How do you
problem with
think
that.
that would go well with
With the
males?
players, with the
Mm-hmm.
players,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I don't think there's a problem with that. And I don't think as long as she knows her shit, I don't think there would be a
Mm-hmm.
problem with that.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. The reason why I kind of bring that up is because there was I don't know how much you follow basketball, but Becky Hammon coached under Greg Popovich,
Hmm.
and she was kind of like um, his right hand person, and she had interviews with NBA teams for a head coaching job, and unfortunately, she didn't get the job. She got beat out by males, and she actually got a head coaching job coaching the WNBA team, the Las Vegas Aces,
Right.
which I thought was kind of like, she really wants to coach in the NBA, but of course, you can always fall back and coach in the WNBA,
Right.
and the WNBA is ran by the NBA. It's
Right.
ran and funded by the NBA. So I just thought that was interesting because I actually had the question. I had like a little debate with my friend about this. I was like, I wonder how a female will be perceived in a locker room full of a bunch of males, especially because it's hard to be a coach in general. Like when you don't make as much as these players do, the players have no obligation to listen to you.
Yeah.
Especially,
Right.
we talked about in the last show. If you're good, I mean, you have authority over the coach.
Right.
Now, is it right? No, it's not right because there's a head coach and there's a player. But in today's game, especially in professional sports, we've seen it many, many times. The player can get the head coach fired. I think it would be interesting to see a kind of dynamic in sports because I think if a female did come into that kind of position, she'd have to have a really thick skin. She'd
Yeah.
have to really be able to really handle these egos that are going to come at her
Right. Of course.
at the first moment that they're not winning or they're not successful. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then you mentioned the emotion factor.
Right.
When she gets on to when she does press conferences, is she going to be poised? Is she going to cry? That I'm just saying. I mean, I'm kind of giving you back what you said.
I
The
doubt that a
emotional.
football head football coach is gonna. There's no crying in football. There's no crying in baseball.
Well, the Lions head coach cried, but you know what? It is an emotional game. So
Right.
again, like I said, it will be interesting to see. I don't know if we ever will see it, but I would be intrigued to see if that ever happened, because the
Yeah.
reality is that this world is becoming more and more diverse, and
Yeah.
we've talked about this off air. And the reality is, you talk about the workforce. Women are dominating the workforce. Men need to get off their asses and start getting back to work, man, because the
Yeah.
females are getting it, man. They're in schools, they're
Yeah.
educating
For sure.
themselves. And I tell you what, man, 10 years from now, this is going to be a very female centric driven workforce.
Yeah, man, get off your asses and go to work.
Yeah, get off your armchairs and go do something, man. Got to
You know.
represent.
Yeah. So I watched Naked and Afraid. Do you ever watch that?
I've heard a couple
It's
times.
on. It's on today's Sunday, so it's on
Mm-hmm.
tonight
Mm-hmm.
at 7 o'clock, and they're doing the Naked and Afraid,
Uh-huh.
cold, frozen.
Oh yeah, we talked about that one, yeah.
So I'm tired of watching a bunch of pussies on TV that are letting these women walk all over them and save them and take care of them and just do stuff that a man should be doing, instead of, oh, my foot hurts, I can't, I'm too tired, I'm too cold, this bunch of crap. I'm just tired of the pussies out there that are sitting on their ass not going to work when they fucking should be going to work. Sorry for the cussing, but I get tired of
Oh
it.
man, I can tell. Like you're like the guy that tells everybody to get off your porch.
Yes, I am. I am.
Yeah, I mean, again, I I think women get a bad rap because of these women types. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, because I've met a lot of strong women. My mom is one of the strongest women I've ever met in my life, stronger than
Right.
some men I know.
Right.
you know, but there are some women that do complain a lot. There's no doubt that they complain about the every smallest thing in the world, but yet they want that equality. And I'm like, well, if you're not willing to work for it, then how can we give it to you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. No,
So
I say bring it on. I don't want to see women get hurt in physical sports,
no,
but
if they want to put it out there, let them do it.
if they can
I'm all
find
for it.
a
Yeah.
place,
Mm-hmm.
in sports, I hope they would
Right.
get paid the same, to
Mm-hmm.
to each their own ability,
Exactly.
so bring it on. I don't care.
Yeah. I always love.
Women, man, uh sexual orientation, I don't care, as long as you can do the damn
I
job,
always
just
love
do it.
I always love competition, man. Iron
Yeah,
sharpens iron, right?
that's right.
All right, buddy. Let's go ahead and take a 2 minute break, and we're going to come back with our next segment.
All right, sounds good. All right, thank you for coming back with us from the break. Just want to ask that you please like and subscribe down at the bottom. If you can see
Hit
my
that little
fingers,
button.
hit those buttons, like, subscribe. We would
Yeah.
like to, so you
Takes
can
two
see our
seconds.
next episode.
Put that information in the chat of what you want to hear, what you want to talk about. If you want to join our show,
That's
please. We
right.
want people to join us.
That's right. It would really help us, in our channel. So please
Right.
do that. So the next topic I'd like to talk about
Mm-hmm.
is Taco Bell.
I love Taco Bell.
I do too. I love Taco Bell. Taco Bell has now decided to put fake meat or vegan meat, as a menu item. So you know how, like Burger King is doing
Mhm. The
the
Impossible Whopper.
Impossible Whopper.
Mm-hmm.
People are doing all this vegan stuff with their burgers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mhm.
so this I have a huge problem with this, especially.
It certainly is a big bun. It's a very big bun. Big fluffy bun. It's a very big fluffy bun.
Where's the beef?
Some hamburger places give you a lot less beef on a lot of bun.
Where's the beef?
I could tell.
Okay.
Your face is about to blow up. Go ahead.
I mean, when I brought up this topic to you, you were like, "What? Why do we care about Taco Bell?" Okay, this is my problem. I don't know if you
What is the
remember,
problem?
but a few years ago, Taco Bell got in trouble with using horse meat in their tacos. Do
I
you
think I heard
remember
about
that?
that. Yeah.
You
Mhm.
did? Okay, so they got in big trouble. They had to stop. They had to cut out their suppliers because they were using horse meat in their taco meat instead of all 100% all beef. Okay.
Okay.
So my question is when they start this vegan stuff, or they actually already have, they've put it in 50 of their stores, their restaurants
Mhm.
so far.
Mhm.
How are you going to be able to tell the difference? And are you going to be able to tell the difference?
So let me make sure I understand this. It's going to be an option on the table on the menu,
Yeah,
but you can still get regular beef on your taco,
it's going
right?
to be yeah, it'll be menu items that will
So
have the beef on it.
it'll be like the Impossible Whopper.
Yeah,
If
it's
you
going to
want
be like
to, okay,
the
I
Impossible
got you.
Whopper.
Okay, you
So
know,
if this is supposed to taste like beef, how are
Mhm.
you going to tell the difference? What if they just start mixing it in there just as fillers to save money?
I think that too because like that's one of the reasons why when I heard about the Impossible Whopper coming
Hmm.
out,
Hmm.
I was like, I wonder what it tastes like. I'm never gonna
Hmm.
eat it,
Hmm.
but I kind of wonder how it compares to a regular burger.
Right.
Because I like Burger King and people have told me some people said it tastes the same. I'm like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But it could be, and that brings up a great point.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, could they actually just put it in there without you
Without
even
knowing.
knowing it, and you're just selling you on it? That's crazy. Yeah.
Right. I mean, this new wave of oh, let's stop eating beef. We need to start eating, veggies, more
Not in
veggies.
Texas, but not in Texas,
Not
buddy.
not
Not in
not in,
Texas. We are
not in
beef.
Texas here.
We are carnivores here in
Yeah.
Texas.
That's not going to happen here. As a matter of fact,
No.
I would be surprised if those menu items last very long on that Taco Bell menu. But the fact remains is that they're trying to push that stuff, and I get so sick and tired. Look, if you don't want something that tastes like, if you don't want to eat a burger, don't eat a burger. Eat
Right.
something else. If you want something that looks and tastes like a burger, I mean, is there that are there that many people out there that are looking for an alternative? I mean, I guess so, but why even
You know,
do
you
that?
know, you know what it is because we talked about the diversity aspect. It's a reach.
Hmm.
They're trying to reach out to different people that maybe Taco Bell's never had. You
Right,
know,
but is it the
and
minority? It's got to be the minority.
because Taco Bell, most people eat beef. They don't eat.
Right.
They're not vegans.
They come to Taco Bell for the beef tacos.
Yeah, and the thing is too, and I was thinking about it when you're talking about it. Put yourself in a vegan's mindset. It, where do you go to eat? Like, I was thinking in my head, like, you can go to Whole Foods, you can go to your local grocery store,
Yeah.
and there's vegan options to shop for. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when you go to restaurants, like chain restaurants,
Salad.
what do you? Yeah, well, exactly. What do you eat? You eat a salad. Like
Salad.
it's like maybe that's why they're skinnier than us. Because they
Yeah.
just eat. They just, that's all they eat. Maybe we
Right.
should be vegan for a week and then we could lose like 30
Couldn't do
pounds
it,
and then
man.
we'll go back to eating.
I couldn't do it. I
but
could not do it.
but it's just crazy because yeah, I always wondered that. We really should bring a vegan on here and talk to that person about why they do what they do. Because it's kind of funny too. A lot of athletes, a great way to get in shape is they go vegan for a while because
Yeah.
they want to just clean their systems out of all the acids and all that
Cholesterol.
stuff. Right, exactly. It's like a cleanse, and then they start their season and they're in great shape because they go on
Right.
these vegan diets.
Right.
But I personally think from Taco Bell's perspective, it's like just like Burger King's perspective with the Impossible Whopper. It's just trying to reach a certain demographic that they haven't never ever had. And you know, like I said, as this world gets more and more diverse, you're gonna see businesses adapting to certain of these changes.
Yeah.
You know, especially in food, because food is a very competitive market. Like when you go get food, are you like me? Are you thinking in your head like, do I want Taco Bell? Do I want McDonald's? Do I want, you know, whatever? Like you have all these options in front of you,
Right.
but you're only going to eat one meal. At least I hope you are. Some people might get two meals or one of everything. Like I know some people that get like one of everything when they can't decide what they want. But I'm the type of person that I just eat one of wherever I'm going.
Right.
So you have so many options out there that I think what these restaurants are or these locations are trying to do is they're trying to offer a different alternative.
Yeah.
Because the vegans are still a minority. I don't think there ever be a majority of vegans because there's just too many damn cows.
Yeah.
You know, people love beef, people love meat. You know, it's just there's too much love for meat. You know, but I will go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, my whole thing is don't jack with my food. You know, if anybody will complain more than a person at a restaurant, it's me. If you jacking with my food.
You know, now that you say that, it makes me think now. Like, I wonder if they've been selling me on these Impossible Whoppers instead of a regular Whopper.
Right.
Like, you know,
we're out of 100% beef patties.
Like
we're gonna throw these in there.
Yeah. Like I go and order the burger, and they like, you know what? We don't have time to cook this burger. Let's just give him the Impossible Whopper. See if he like tells the difference. Right. I'll tell you what. If they have done that with me, that's a damn good burger.
Yeah.
So I think you bring up a great point too. Is we can't tell. I mean, what are you gonna tell them? Like, hey, I need you to cook with regular meat. I don't want that vegan shit that you're advertising. Like, I could see you saying something like that.
Oh, me too.
At the window.
Damn
like,
straight.
I need that regular ass meat, like not that shit that's like fake and all that stuff. Because I'm paying like top dollar for the taco.
Exactly. I don't want any of that crap in my meat.
If you do that, I'd love to see that video. Yeah. And then the reaction to the video when they say that.
Right.
That would be hilarious.
Maybe I have to play that on.
You have to do that. Put on They put on a TikTok or something.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Practical Jokers?
Yes.
They should do that on Practical Jokers. Like,
they
literally make somebody just go up to the register and say, I don't want that fake ass meat. I want the real meat. And just see the reaction to the face of the people that are there. They're probably just
you're not putting that fake meat in my taco, are you?
Oh yeah.
I can go off on that. That's so much fun. That's so funny. But yeah, I get irritated when I get food that I didn't order, or they'll put stuff on my plate that I didn't order. I'm real particular about my menu items and the food that I eat at restaurants. And so I can get a little irritated about things like that. And just hearing something like that from Taco Bell, as long as they're keeping it away from our beef, more power to those vegans, but just keep it separate.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, hey, if you want to make another option menu, fine. But don't
any of that vegan stuff.
Yeah, don't give us back the regular beef. And you know what? Just on the topic of Taco Bell, bring back the damn Mexican pizzas. Come on, man.
Yes.
What happened, man? Like, it was so good for a while that it ran out again. Like, come on, man. Like, that needs to be a regular item on the menu. Like,
yes. And I don't think, do they have tostadas anymore? They don't even have tostadas anymore.
They got the Belgrandes, but the Mexican pizzas, man, they got to bring that back.
Yeah, they do.
For sure. It was good. It was good to see it, and then it went away. But
that's all right.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, these are one of these things that, like, you can either make a really big deal about it, or you could say, you know what, as long as you don't mess up my meat, I'm good.
Right.
But it does kind of make you think, like, because you don't know what's going on. It's not like Subway where you see where your stuff's being made, like, right in front of you.
Exactly.
Like,
it's behind the scenes.
It just makes you kind of think, like, damn, am I really paying for that fake meat again? Like,
And it,
like it's like crazy.
and if you complain, are they going to spit in your food?
Yeah, that's another thing too, man.
I hate
That's
that. I can't see what's going on when they're making
yeah.
that
I
food.
used to work in a restaurant. I worked in a restaurant. I worked at Subway. So, like I
Yeah,
said, you could do that at Subway because they were right in front of you. I mean,
right,
you could give them the ugly look or give them the bird, but I
right,
mean, you really could do anything else other than that.
right,
And they
exactly.
saw exactly how you're making their sandwich. So, but Taco Bell is a little different because you don't know what's going on back there.
You don't
So,
know what's going in that thing. And that's what
yeah,
scares me about Taco Bell, especially when there was
yeah,
horse meat going on in there, and then I found out. But
yeah.
anyway,
How long
that
ago was
was,
the horse meat one?
I think that was like 10 or 15 years ago.
Oh wow, that was a while back. Was
Yeah.
it PETA that got mad about that or what?
I think they did a DNA test of the beef that was coming, that they were sampling, and like I think 80% of it was beef, and the rest of it, 20% of it was horse.
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
Makes
they
you
were
wonder what they
finding
make the
DNA.
McDonald's burgers out of.
You know what they make out of those chicken McNuggets with? That pink
Oh my
slime. That
god,
pink
bro.
slime.
Yeah.
All right, we're at time on this, but that was a good
Yeah.
segment.
Man, making me hungry now. I'll go to Taco Bell. They don't got those Mexican pizzas anymore. God darn it.
That's right. That's right. All right. So our next topic is going to be some sexual harassment in the workplace. Ooh,
All
that's
right, you gonna take a 2 minute and come back?
uh,
Or do you? Or do you think?
yeah.
How
No,
much
I
time we
think we
got
can
left?
put. You need to take a break, or you want to power through
No,
it?
we're good. I was curious.
All right. No, I think we're good.
All right.
So sexual harassment in the workplace. You know, we're in the day and age of you, like you said, we got a lot of women in the workplace now,
Mm-hmm.
and it's becoming
Mm-hmm.
more and more in the age of women and how they're feeling in the workplace, and how
Right.
men, are they feel a little bit sexually harassed in the workplace. So there's a lot more
Mm-hmm.
rules, there's a lot more guidelines coming out, and so like one of the rules of sexual harassment in the workplace is you can't say anything derogatory towards them. You can't say anything sexual towards them.
Which makes 100% sense. 100%
One
sense.
hundred percent. You can't tell sex jokes. You can't tell
Yeah.
dirty jokes.
Right.
None of that. No more of that in the workplace. Because it was
Mm-hmm.
primarily men in the workplace, in the office, and now it's
Right.
primarily women now.
No bathroom talk or no locker room
Right.
talk
No
is what they
locker room
call it.
talk anymore.
Right.
So, but you get a lot of gray areas. You get a lot of gray areas, and
Mm-hmm.
those gray areas are what the are is at the perception of the person, not the intention, the intent of the of the other person, of the
Mm-hmm.
person who is quote unquote doing the sexual harassment. So if I make a comment and my intent was not to be a sexual comment, or a or a or a just a derogatory comment, it was just a
Mm-hmm.
comment, but the person on the other end took it bad, or took it as a
Yeah.
sexual harassment comment, or maybe even a flirtatious comment. Is flirtatious comments, are those sexual harassment? Is that sexual harassment?
Well, I got a bigger question for you. What if you're just being complimentary?
Exactly. The intent there is to be
Right.
nice. It's
Right.
not to be sexual. It's not to be, oh, I want to
Mm-hmm.
get with you. It's not that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a, especially here in Texas and down in the South, we're very complimentary people. We
Mm-hmm.
compliment you on your looks. We compliment you
Right.
on your the things that you do. We hold door. Is me holding the door open for you considered
Mm-hmm.
sexual harassment? I mean,
Might be
what's
nowadays because you're waiting to walk in and
yeah,
check them
yeah.
out.
Am I
You
flirting
know.
with you now because I held the door open for you, or I wanted to
Yeah.
carry your stuff because it's too heavy for you to carry?
Yeah.
I
Makes
mean,
them
what?
that'll make them feel uncomfortable.
Yes, I mean, what's going on? What's going on these days? What? Put some light on it for me. Put some
All
light on
right.
it for me, Nathan.
There needs to be a lot of light shine on this because I think every male can say, yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's like you can't even look at somebody now. It's like you can't even like it,
There's
it's so
ways
hard.
to look at somebody. There's
Yeah.
ways to look at somebody. You're looking
Yeah.
at somebody like,
Like if you even smile at a woman, that's considered sexual harassment.
hey,
We're not even talking about the wink or the Joey, how you doing?
hey,
We're just
how you
talking
doing?
about just smiling.
Yeah,
Like if I just smile at a woman, that could be perceived as sexual harassment.
exactly. Your intent is not there. And the thing of it is that part of law, part of laws, and you must have an intent of guilt,
Right.
an intent of
Right.
what you meant to do, to be guilty of something. There must be an intent
Mhm.
there, and so this is not even a guilty or not guilty thing. This is how the person perceives it, not what your intent is. They don't care about your intent. They don't care whether you're being nice.
Let's look at it from this standpoint. It's all nonverbals, right? Because we as males know you cannot make sexual comments to a woman in the workplace. We're not
Everybody
dumb.
should
We
know that. Everybody should know that.
Exactly.
Right.
But it's the nonverbals that bother me because I am a generally happy person. I like to smile. I don't wink, but I smile. And I am complimentary because my mom has taught me how to be complimentary of people. You know, that is just how I was brought up. And
Polite.
for exactly, and respectful and gentlemanlike. And for that to be considered sexual harassment, that is asinizing.
Or flirting.
That's or flirting, yeah, or flirting, or thinking that that's going to be God, I can't get the word out. It's going to be like an advance for sex.
Yeah. You know what I tell them? Get over yourself, because nobody's flirting with you. Nobody's flirting.
I think it's a twofold thing. I think it's one of the things I think it is that the woman, and I've experienced this in the dating world. And you probably did when you were dating. As men, we always have to justify ourselves with women. And why is that? Is because these women date scumbags. They date douches. They date guys that are losers. And when a good guy comes along, they don't know what to do with that good guy. Because they automatically have put you in the category of, oh, you're just like that other guy. You're just treating me nice, whatever, to get in my pants, and then you're gonna and then you're gonna be like him all over again. Like it's that perception, but it's also that experience that they've had in the past. I think that's one of the reasons.
Yeah.
Another thing is too, is that now, we talked about women being in the workforce. You're seeing more women in higher positions, managers, above managers. And as a male, when you're getting a sexual harassment thing on you, and you have a female manager and you have a head manager on top of that that's female, who do you think they're going to side with?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Not
there's no separation of gender from the situation.
Right.
The man is basically guilty before even proven any innocence.
Right. Well, I talk.
He's guilty by association.
I talked to my wife about this specific, because she's starting a new job, so she had to go through that whole sexual harassment stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
And I asked her. I said, "So what happens when a woman compliments another woman? Like, I love your hair. I love how you look today." Well, she said, "Well, that doesn't count." I said, "Why?" And she said, "Well, because it's another woman." I said, "What does that have?
Double standard."
Why does that Why does that matter? Why does that matter? Do you know her sexual preference? What if she's gay? What if she's gay and she's hitting on you?
Yeah. What if she wants to have sex with you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're being sexually harassed. If you want to do that, if you want to live by that standard, you're being sexually harassed. So what difference does it make what gender they are?
And how different is that from a man complimenting her to a woman complimenting her?
Exactly. So if it's okay for a woman to do that, why isn't it okay for a man to do that? You're saying that the woman's just being nice and that she, that it's another woman. Okay, so if it's a man that's being nice, why does that automatically mean that he wants to get in her pants?
Right.
Why is that? Why is that threatening? I mean, are women's minds excuse me, are they that messed up that they think that because a man is complimenting them nicely, in a very nice tone, in a very nice way, why is that threatening to them? How did we
And
get
there's
here?
there's no bad intentions.
No bad intentions.
There's no bad intentions at all in what you're doing. I'm going to give you an example. I was watching a TikTok on Facebook, and this chick drops her phone, right? And the guy starts going after her, saying, "Hey, you dropped your phone." She's like, "Leave me alone. I got a boyfriend. Leave me alone. I got a boyfriend." She dropped her freaking phone.
Yeah.
He's just trying to give her freaking phone.
Right.
And she automatically assumes that he's trying to get with her or do whatever to her.
Right.
And I'm just like, that is case in point what men are dealing with nowadays. Even when you try, like, you could take your shirt off or your jacket off and put it on the floor and let a woman walk on it, and that could be considered sexual harassment.
Right.
Like, it's almost like there is no such thing as chivalry anymore. You can't even be chivalrous in the work thing anymore.
Right.
Oh, hey, Betty, let me do this for you because I know that you struggle with this, and we got a deadline to meet. That could be considered sexual harassment. Oh, well, he doesn't perceive I can do it, or oh, he's not helping her out, and I'm attractive, so yeah, I feel uncomfortable about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, come on, man. Like,
come on, man.
Let me put it this way, and I'm going to make this very clear. If I want to have sex with you, I'm just going to tell you.
You're going to know it.
You're going to know it. I'm not going to be covert about it. I'm not going to, do the wink, wink and the nudge, nudge and all that. No, I'm just going to tell you. Okay.
You're going to know it. But I'm going to ask you on a date.
Right. But let me make this very clear. I'm not going to do it in the work environment. Okay.
Right.
This will be done outside of work. And that's usually where it should be due. Or if you're going to have these conversations or whatever, it should be done outside of work. Work is work. But this whole being complimentary and smiling and being nice, there is nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Because here's the thing. Let me say this real quick.
No, go
here's
ahead.
The thing. As a male, it's a double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
You and me can smile at a woman and be nice to her, and that could be sexual harassment.
Mm-hmm.
Or we could say nothing to her and do nothing for her, and that could be sexual harassment.
Or
and
just
you're rude.
You're rude.
Yeah, and you're sexist.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to help me out because you're a male and I'm a female. That's sexist.
Right.
And they'll find a way back to sexual harassment. So it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
So for the men that listen to the show, what is your advice? And give real advice. Don't say just don't show up.
Yeah.
what
women who are watching the show, what's your advice?
Yeah.
Maybe
I like that too.
Maybe there needs to be these sexual harassment policies. Maybe they need to be reworded. Maybe they need to be rethought about. And I think that these companies are just trying to be as general as possible, but it doesn't work that way.
Because
people get fired for no reason.
Well, let's take an example. Your wife is starting a new job. She read her code of conduct, right?
Mm-hmm.
She showed you. Did you see anywhere in that code of conduct that flirting is considered sexual harassment? I mean, I'm sorry, not flirting. Being complimentary and smiling is considered sexual harassment. No, it's not.
No, nowhere.
Because it's asinizing to think that is sexual harassment.
Right.
If that's the case, okay, here's the thing. If that's the case, that it is sexual harassment to just be complimentary and nice, then you know what? Put it in the freaking book.
Yeah.
Let's be real here.
Put it in the book.
If you feel that is what it is, put it in the damn book.
Yes.
Because if that's the case, then men need to see that and understand that.
Right.
And we're gonna have to adjust our ways.
Right.
But I'm telling you, it's a double-edged sword because now it's let's say they do put in the book, okay? Let's say hypothetically, you're gonna have more men that are gonna be assholes
Mm-hmm.
that are just gonna sit there like you're doing right now with a scowl on their face.
Yep.
Like, do your own work.
Yep.
And then what's gonna happen? There's gonna be more sexual harassment situations to file.
Yep.
So
There's the door. Open it for you. You can open it yourself.
Yeah. Exactly.
There's going to be more guys walking with empty hands and more women with their hands full of books or full of bags, and then they walk up to a door, and the man opens the door, walks in, and lets the door shut behind him.
I just thought of something.
Is that the world that you want to live in? No, it's not.
I just thought of something so funny.
Like,
you've probably done this because you're a chivalrous guy, and I'm a chivalrous guy at times. If you see an old lady walking and she barely can move and she's got groceries in her hands, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna go help her out. I'm gonna go grab the groceries from her, and
you're gonna be smiling, and you're gonna be complimentary of how, if she needs help or all that.
Right.
Does that mean we don't want to have sex with that women? No.
No.
That's my point.
Maybe you, but not me.
God. That's my point. Is that what is it because she's older? Is that's not considered sexual harassment?
Right.
Because, like you said, a lot of men like older women.
Right. Now that's one way to look at it. Okay. But if I am at work and one day I say, "Hey, your hair looks pretty." The next day I say, "Hey, I really like those earrings that you're wearing." The next day I say, "Oh man, you have some really pretty eyes." The next day I say, "Oh, your dress that you're wearing is very nice. It's really colorful. It brings out your eyes and your hair, and it has it makes your skin tone look good." Now, am I being a little flirtatious there? Yeah. But are you going to tell me right ahead? Are you going to like give me the, "Oh, thank you so much," or are you going to say, "Oh," or "I appreciate that," or are you going to say, "Hey, I like the comment, I like the compliments, thank you, but we're at work," right? Right. I mean, you're gonna probably shut it down, and you're not going to give the kind of cues that a guy would receive when you're doing compliments, if you like them or not. And
I think,
so that gives it when you do things like that in succession, or if there's a past history of comments and odd things that make you go, then you can put all that kind of stuff, all that together, and say, "Yeah, he's flirting with me," or he's sexual. It's becoming a problem, right? You have a preconceived notion of the person now that you have some history behind it.
There's a pattern. There's a
pattern starting, and at that point in time, is it okay to go to HR and say, or your manager and say, I think there's a problem with Joe Blow down the road, down the hall. He's making me feel uncomfortable.
Let me throw a little point out there too. It just came to my head. Why can't the females have a conversation with the male about this?
Because they're
like, hey, Johnny, just FYI, I notice you're very nice and very complimentary, but I just appreciate, you just don't compliment me.
We're at work.
We're at work.
Yeah.
How hard is that? Not
hard.
Exactly.
I'd be like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry."
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I would react. "Oh shit, I'm sorry."
I didn't mean to offend you, but at least they told you.
Yeah.
They were able to come to you and say that. Yeah.
Now
because the reality is these HR people, they don't know their employees. They know their files, but they don't know the employees. They don't watch these employees,
Right.
They're just taken by whatever the female is saying.
Right.
And if it's a female HR person that's investigating it, along with a female manager, who the hell do you think they're going to side with? Yeah.
That's right. The female,
But
100% of the time.
yeah, exactly. But that's my thing. That's what I would say to women. Is like just tell the guy. You don't have to be very ugly about it. Just be like, hey, listen, I'm just gonna let you know this makes you a little uncomfortable. I'd appreciate you not do that. I mean, like it's like when you go to a bar and you talk to a girl, and you could tell when guys are really hitting on girls,
Hmm.
and they go like, hey, I got a boyfriend, I'm married. I appreciate,
Right.
I'm flattered, but don't do that again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like most guys will acknowledge that and say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Right.
Because we're
I didn't know.
visionary people. We're visually people. We see things.
Right.
So, I just don't understand why women can't do that more.
Right.
Like I challenge women to just do this more than rather just running to HR. Oh, he made a wink at me. Hey, maybe he's
Right.
got a tick in his eye.
Right.
I
Exactly.
was thinking about that. Like, what is that sexual harassment? If you got a tick in your eye or you got Tourette's or something, and you're making winking at her, like,
Right.
it's just it's stupid. It's stupid that it has to get to that point.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm saying.
I mean,
The
if you want to
Mhm.
be a part of a workplace in the man's world, you're a woman in the man's world. If that's what you're saying, you need to
Yeah.
start. You need to start acting. You need to get some backbone.
Mhm.
You need to tell these people up front, because you know what a guy would do. A guy would take
Mhm.
it to their face and say, "Look, hey man, I don't appreciate that. Don't do
Yeah,
it."
exactly. Or let's talk after we get out of work. Exactly.
Right. Right.
Like that's what you do in a man's environment, and
Right.
and this kind of ties into the whole equal pay thing. If women want to be seen as an equal
Hmm.
and get the same amount of money in the man's of an eye in the eyes of a man, then you have to take kind of what the territory allows.
Right.
And here's the thing: is I think a lot of women do that, especially in the work environment. If you're working in a man-dominated environment, you
Right.
know that you're going to hear the locker room talk. You're going to hear about, hey, what'd you do last night? Oh, I had her come over, whatever, yada yada that. Like it's going to happen.
Right.
But it's the ones that, to me, are the most sensitive. It's not you; it's what they've dealt with. You know what I'm saying? And they
Yeah.
have like this me against the world mentality, where they feel that every man is out to get them.
Right.
And here's the reality, and I'm gonna wrap this up on this point, buddy. That's one of the reasons why they're still single.
Hmm. Exactly.
You know,
If you
that
have that
is
type of mentality, that's why
exactly. You're never gonna
that
meet a man.
that's
You're
why
never
you're
gonna meet a
single.
man.
You will never
Exactly.
meet a man, and you'll never
You
be
have
happy.
exactly. Yeah, you've got to open yourself up to not every guy is out to just have sex with you or out to make your life miserable. There are good people out there. But if you have that jaded perception, then it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you feel like he's going to be ugly to you and you're going to meet some idiot or whatever it is and he's going to screw you over, then you're going to put yourself in a situation where it's going to happen.
Yep. All right, man. That was a great show. This is the
Yeah.
armchair. This is the armchair dudes, and we were glad that you.
We're not we're not signing
Oh,
off yet.
we're not signing off yet. What do you do? What do you
Not
got going
yet.
on?
We got to plug. We got to plug our next show.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and plug it then.
Yeah, you're ready to jump the gun here.
I'm trying to get out of here.
I
Sunday.
like where you're at. I like where you're at. I like where you're at. So our next show will be with my good friend Melissa Muende. Muende. She is from Africa,
Yep.
and she's gonna talk to us about voodoo. She's gonna talk to us about her African culture. Talk to us about African food.
Food. Yeah, that's my topic right there. I can't wait for that.
She's gonna give us a lot of good insight of
Man,
what
I
it was
love
like growing
African
up in
food.
Africa, and then transitioning to becoming a United States citizen. So
Yeah,
looking
I love
forward to
African
that. But yeah, that's gonna be our first guest speaker. So super
Cool.
excited about that.
Super excited.
Yeah, we need to figure out. We don't have a time yet, but probably sometime in the midday. I know today we kind of started off a little later because we have some obligations we have to take care of.
They don't know what time it is.
I know. but good show. And yeah, any final thoughts on anything? I mean, we got some good stuff today.
Yeah, we did talk about some good stuff. Please like and subscribe to our channel. We're just a couple working stiffs here, and we enjoy doing this. We enjoy
Yeah.
bullshitting with each other. So
Yeah, we want your feedback. We want you to give us stuff to talk about, and we will talk about it. I know some people say, "Oh, we'll get to it. We'll talk about it." We will
we'll
talk about it. You give us your topics. We will talk about it. Put into the YouTube chat. If you want to come on the Zoom call with us, like I said, all we ask is you be professional. Like we're professional. You can curse a little bit. You can throw some jabs, but just keep it professional. But yeah, we'd love to have people on and get perspective on the topics. Just offers more insight. So
for sure. All right. Sign
all
us
right,
off.
well, yeah, man. This is the Armchair Dudes signing off for the evening, and we'll see you next Sunday.
Next Sunday, like and subscribe.